back to the show, everybody. The Upper Tier Podcast. This is a Shankly Sessions. We're going to be talking about Liverpool. We're really going to be talking about Liverpool. So poor. This is our drive time home. It's Friday. It's the start of the weekend. Brilliant weekend coming up. Community Shield. Jake Paul versus Nate Diaz. We've got SummerSlam. Brilliant sporting weekend coming up this weekend. Really looking forward to it. But we're going to talk in this drive time home. We're going to be talking about Liverpool Football Club, and it's fucking embarrassing. It's just embarrassing at this stage. You know what I mean? You're saying at the end of that Bayern Munich game or whatever it was in Singapore, you've got Robbo frustrated, lashing out at fans. I know they were pushing and there was a kid and stuff like that, but you can see it in him, the frustration and stuff like that. Same with Klopp signing that jersey and telling the fan to hold the fucking shirt and all, and you know, it's just out of frustration and stuff like that. You can see they're highly frustrated. The gaffer's coming out, he's saying we need players in the door. You know what I mean? We're fannying around in this Lavia deal. I listened to the boys on the Anfield Rock today, listen to what they're saying. I can understand what they're saying. Is this Jorg? He's in there kind of on a temporary basis. Is he trying to prove his worth in terms of some of these deals? But I don't get that with the Lavia deal, because we know what the situation is with the Lavia deal. We know the buyback clause that City have in there. We know the sell-on clause that's there and all that kind of stuff. So in terms of the Lavia deal, it doesn't make sense at all. We need to go in there. We need to spend the money. We're a week out from the Premier League starting now. We're on the cusp of the Community Shield, and we've no DM. And my frustration just boiled over today. You know, I see people, you know, they don't realise, do they, how important this position is on the pitch for us. This is the position that destroyed our situation last season, exposed our defence, killed off everything going forward. It was just an absolute shit show, you know. And then we go into a pre-season, you know, and you're looking at that pre-season and it's 3 second division German teams, you know, a depleted Leicester team that have lost most of their talent. And then when we come up against a Bayern Munich team, it's a different story. And that's what we're looking at. That's what's going to be ahead of us. This is the season that's ahead. This is the barrel that we're staring down now. You know, we're staring down a barrel of, you know, balls over the top, being caught ball watching, all sorts of stuff. And I know people are going to come on and go, oh, it's only pre-season. Well, now we're a week out and we're in serious trouble. Serious trouble. And it's just so frustrating. You hear like we're the butt end of every fucking fan base joke. You know, you've got even Klarna, the payments crowd, taking the piss out of the club and all. Like we don't have a penny. We have owners who are 19th in the league in terms of direct ownership investment. We're 17th in the league this year in terms of players coming in. We haven't signed a player in 5 weeks. You know, it's just so frustrating. I just can't understand it, how unserious, you know, we are in this situation. We were promised a war chest. We were told we were going to have a rebuild. Where's the rebuild? 9-10 players out the door, 2 players in. Where's the rebuild? And I know people are going to turn around and go, yeah, we've had players who have gone out on loan, fine. We've had players who have gone that didn't really, you know, give us anything and stuff like that. But look at the drop off the other day. Like, we take off, I think there was a triple substitution, I think in the Bayern game, I think it was. And like, we took off Gakpo, we took off Robbo, and we took off Trent. And look at what we brought on. You know what I mean? And it's just, the drop off is just sensational. We're literally an injury or 2 away from absolute disaster. And then I'm looking online today and I'm seeing lineups for this Chelsea game and stuff like that, and I'm just ready to put my fist through the laptop. I'm seeing a 6 pivot there with Trent and Curtis Jones, and I'm going, fuck me, is this what we've become? Is this what we've become? You know? And then you go back and you look at it and stuff like that. We had a great start to the window. McAllister came in, Szoboszlai came in, both on, you know, release clauses and stuff like that, so it wasn't too much of a difficulty to get them in. But then when we get into the real nitty gritty, the real buying and selling and wheeling and dealing of getting players in the door, fundamentally we're in the shitter again, you know what I mean? And you look at last year this time as well, you know, the frustration boiling over from the gaffer, and you know, him saying that we were all set, we didn't need a midfielder, and then it went to shit. And then we spend 6, 7, 8 million on this Arthur Melo guy, and the fear is we're just going to go and do that again. We're going to bring in some absolute fucking nonsense that doesn't deserve to even walk through the doors of Anfield, even with a match day ticket. Like, Arthur Melo shouldn't walk through the doors of Anfield, even if he's bought a ticket. The guy shouldn't be allowed to sit in the fucking stand. You know what I mean? And this just shows the level we have dropped and the acceptance in it and stuff like that. And then, you know, we're in for the likes of Tchouameni. You know, we're talking about trying to sign. Look at the players we've been linked with. It's just ridiculous. And then we go in for Lavia, which is a massive step down from where we should be. We should be signing Caicedo. Why are we fucking around? Like, you know what I mean? Why aren't we going in there with 90 million or whatever it is, being serious, go to Brighton and do the deal and get the 6 in who's versatile, can play a number of positions and really sets that midfield alight. But instead we're fannying around with Southampton, you know what I mean, and then we're putting out little idle threats to Southampton to get them to trigger things when we know it's not going to happen. These people just think that people in the market are stupid and stuff like that. And now today I see we're linked with Dewsbury Hall. Dewsbury Hall. No disrespect to that kid. It's not about him. But we're Liverpool Football Club. You know what I mean? And is that how far we have sunk? We wait to go and raid Leicester when most of the quality is gone. God forbid we go for a Harvey Barnes, or God forbid we go for a James Maddison. No, we wait and we get linked with Dewsbury Hall. And this boy Andre over in South America and stuff like that, don't know a whole lot about him and stuff like that. But like, it's just, the whole thing just stinks of these owners again, just taking the piss, pawing off prime players in their careers, pawing off those years, you know, making a show of Klopp, you know what I mean? And this is going to get real toxic. You seen it last year. Last year was just a drop in the ocean compared to what we're going to get this year. Because last year, they put it back on us and we had infan fighting and all that kind of thing. It got really, really toxic. And it's going to get worse this year. It's going to get worse. And the fear is that we're going to piss away Klopp's legacy. And it's going to end up going down the road of Wenger. And that's what's going to happen. All that good work that they done, and they get vilified going out the door, absolutely butchered out the door and stuff like that. And that's not our way. It's not the Liverpool way. It's not the Liverpool fan base way and stuff like that and all. You can see the gaffer is crying out for signings. And I don't know whether this is a combination. It's definitely FSG, because we're fucking penny pinching money wise. And you seen the figures last night when we were on the Thursday show with Darren. And do you know the worst thing about this as well? The worst thing about this as well is we have other fan bases now beginning to feel sad for us. And that's when you know you've hit an all-time low. You know? Klarna, the payment crowd, using FSG as a piss take. You know what I mean? It's just, it's so bad. And then you see Lavia and the, you know what I mean? He was supposed to probably come in as an understudy to Fabinho. He wasn't even supposed to be the man. You know what I mean? He was supposed to be probably given time. You know? But if he comes in, he's going to have to be the guy. How's that going to work? You know? So frustrating. And you see us going in, like, acting in the market the way we are and all. Went in with a bid, something like 39 million, and they went, no, that's not going to work. We need 50. And then we go in with 41 million. This was as bad as Wenger with 40 million and a pound on that release clause. It's just bullshit from top to bottom. Like, it's just a nonsense, you know. Players getting frustrated, manager getting frustrated, you know what I mean, fan base getting frustrated. And I know people will think this is reactionary and all that kind of stuff, but look, I watched Liverpool for 30 years trying to win a league. I watched us win a Premier League. I watched us win a Champions League. I watched us with an opportunity to create something special. Dino talks about it all the time, creating a dynasty. This is what we wanted to do, create a dynasty. And what did we do? We fell on our sword. We sat on our hands. Sure, everything's grand. We didn't evolve. We didn't do what top teams do. where they take that cog out of the wheel, they put a new cog in, and away they go. Like what Pep does, like what Carlo Ancelotti does, like what a lot of these big teams do that are serious in the market. They don't look at the name on the back of the shirt. They look at the output and the result of what happens in that position. Look at the players that Pep Guardiola has sent through the door at Man City and the players he has replaced them with. And it's just so frustrating, you know what I mean? And it's just the talk of us having no money, and you know, it's horrific, absolutely horrific. FSG, sell the fucking club. You know, you're gonna earn an awful lot of money out of it. You bought the club for 350 million or whatever it is. You're gonna get somewhere between 4.5 billion for it. Sell the fucking club and release us. Let us do what we want to do. Let the club go back to creating history again, instead of creating history in the wrong way. We can see what way this is going to go. We see how frustrated the gaffer is. You know what I mean? And we know what way this is going to go. This is going to be a shit show. We're going to pie off the league by October, and we're going to turn around and just be in a Europa League or something like that. That's where our priority is going to be. Because we haven't got the players, because we're not going to be serious. You know what I mean? Same thing in the market again. Always half doing things. Never doing things fully. Never giving the gaffer everything that he needs. Everything that he needs. You know, having to juggle around injury-prone players. You know, not providing the funds to do what we needed to do in the midfield. You know, it's just so shocking. You know what I mean? And it's like, I don't know. Sometimes you look at it and you think, Jesus, why doesn't Jurgen Klopp just resign or just walk away before it gets toxic? You know what I mean? Why is he putting himself through this? You know what I mean? What promises were made to him when he re-signed? You look at Mo Salah. How was Mo Salah not rocking up with a transfer request at this kind of bullshit? You know what I mean? Playing off his prime years at Liverpool, just making up the fucking numbers, playing outstanding every year, trying to put a bit of voicing on a shit show of a cake every year. You know what I mean? What promises were made to Mo Salah? We remember when the contract stuff was going on, he wanted to know what the ambition of the club was for the next 5 years before he re-signed. Where's that fucking ambition? Where's that ambition now? You know? It's just so frustrating, you know what I mean? And then it's like, you just, sometimes you look at it and you have to detach yourself from it at times and stuff like that and all, and just, you know, and it's only because we care. You know what I mean? It's only because we care so much. I give up a lot of time every week podcasting because I love Liverpool Football Club so much. It's a big part of my life. It's a big part of my family's life. It's something I share dearly with my son Ben and that kind of thing. And you're just there going, why is this the case? And we could see it. I said it today on Twitter. I said it feels like we're going back to the 90s. Missing out on second and third and fourth choice targets, and then putting up an absolute utter scutter coming through the door. Look, it's shocking. And you look at our rivals all around us. Look at Aston Villa with Emery, bringing in player after player. Why aren't we in for those players? Why weren't we looking at Pau Torres? Why weren't we looking at Diaby? You know what I mean? Why are we hanging around waiting for Aston Villa to sign Jeremy Doku? You know what I mean? You look at Arsenal, you can slag off all you want about the Kai Havertz deal and stuff like that, but look at what Arsenal are doing. They're serious in trying to make up that gap against Man City that they fell short on last year. But you look at all those teams around us that are strengthening. Look at what Chelsea are doing. They're going to bounce back. They're going to be strong. You know what I mean? Poch is in there. He'll stabilise things. He'll get them playing a certain way, give the players coaching and direction that they need. They'll be much better this year. United, you know, bringing in Højlund, who's going to do well for them, that missing piece that they need. You know, bringing in Amrabat. Why aren't we bringing in Amrabat? 25 million. 25. Like, we're not even in for the cheap solutions that are out there. You know what I mean? So frustrating. Everyone around us strengthening. You look at Man City, what they're doing, and you know, they brought in Josko Vardiol now. He's going to come in. He's going to ultimately strengthen them. Kovacic came in, and Pep coming out and saying we're still going to sign 2 or 3 more players. That's a serious club. That's a club who wants to continually evolve every single transfer window, and if you're not happy, The door's that way regardless of who you are, and if your time has come, the door's that way, or if you want to change, the door's that way, and it's just done. You know what I mean? Yet we're just moping around trying to find solutions and crowbar players into positions. You know what I mean? You look at Curtis Jones, who's got an awful time off fans for his performances and stuff like that, and now they're going to drop him into a 6 role where ultimately he's destined to fail, and the fans will be getting on him as well, and it's not even his fault. You know, and then news coming out today, Thiago's going to be back in training, hopefully available for the Chelsea game, and you know, Stefan Bietic is back in. They're both working hard at the AXA places, the AXA training centre and stuff like that. No, great, but we are so far short from a title challenging team. It's absolutely ridiculous. You look at that Bayern Munich game the other day. Doesn't it stink of last season? Alisson was probably our man of the match. You know what I mean? It's just so frustrating. Don't even know where to begin, you know what I mean? And it's bad enough I'm sitting here in Friday traffic on a motorway without feeling like this and stuff like that, and I'm really fearful for the start of this season. Like, just, you know, the likes of Kanate pick up an injury, or, you know, got to look at Virgil going in there now as a captain. Is he really going to be able to carry it? You know what I mean? Is the captaincy going to be the thing that elevates him and gives us back that 20% that we need off him? Is the vice captaincy that went on Trent going to give us what we need? I'm not too sure whether it gave us what we needed in the Bayern Munich game, but we shall see. You know, and what's going to be the reaction of Mo Salah? How does Mo Salah feel being overlooked for either band? How does Alisson feel being overlooked for either band? It was noticeable that Virgil went straight to Alisson with the band when he was coming off. You know, Alisson and Mo arguably our best players last season. Virgil and Trent probably our most disappointing drop-offs, with the exception of Fabinho and Henderson. You know, but everything seems to be reactory. You look at Alexis McAllister with that knee-to-knee the other day at half-time, and he's coming off and stuff like that. And our fan base absolutely shit the bed when it happened. Shit the bed. The shock and the horror of, is he going to stand up? Has he done his knee? Blah, 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 blah. The anxiety around all that. That tells us where we're at. Tells us where we're at. And just the thoughts of facing into another season where I have to start doing match reactions and player ratings, and dropping shit ratings on players, and, you know, speaking for a half an hour to 40 minutes about my frustration at what's going on, and, you know, then sometimes it boils over onto Klopp at times, and wrongly so probably, because his hands are tied. You know what I mean? I've questioned him last season about when players didn't play very well and we should have made changes at half time, and then you look at the bench and nearly, you know, a poor performance by a player is nearly a better performance than bringing on a guy from the bench with the options that we had. It's so bad. Like, we knew we needed 5 or 6 players, and that's before even some of the exits. You know what I mean? That's before we knew we were losing Bo Henderson and Fabinho. I still thought we needed 5 or 6 players in the door. It's just the annoyance of it, and it's just so frustrating. Folks, they're my thoughts. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Am I being overreactory? You know what I mean? Am I hinging on pre-season? Everyone's saying, don't worry, it's only pre-season. Don't worry. After Szoboszlai in a couple of weeks pass and no one signed, don't worry, there's time. You know what I mean? Now we're potentially going to drop a makeshift DM in there if we sign one. Doesn't even kick the ball with the team. It's horrible. And we knew. Those bastards FSG, they knew. They knew what needed to be done on that midfield, and they reneged on it for the last 3 seasons. And now, because it's catching up on them, and now because they have to pony up, it's all gone quiet, and we're going to have to make do kind of with what we had. Same old season. Not doing enough to get us in there. We're going to end up in a top 6 race if we're lucky. lucky if we're challenging for top 4. We haven't done enough. We haven't done near enough. We're going to fall short. And it's going to be sad. And it's going to get toxic. You know? Let us know your thoughts in the comments. Just my thoughts. DriveTime Friday. Of course, hit the subscribe button. We're over 1,000 subscribers now. Keep that flow going, folks. Really appreciate it. Drop a like on the video. And of course, hit that bell notification for when we go live. And of course, have a safe and a happy weekend. And try not to let your club destroy your will to live at times. Very, very frustrating at the moment being a Liverpool fan. Talk to you again real soon, folks. Cheers, Reds.